I'm not even doing an intro today, chat. No hype up, no nothing. No hype up, no nothing. We're just right into this. We are jumping into this because it's NHL Free Agency opening in 2 minutes, chat. 2 minutes, NHL Free Agency is opening. Let's go. Big W, man. Big W. Chat, we're going to be here live for as long as we can, showing that reactions, initial thoughts on signings as everything kind of gets underway. We're going to be breaking stuff as much as we can. And I'm going to be updating you as much as I can based on other things going on. So live reacting to all Twitter things I can find, Twitter notifications, anything that kind of happens on the sports networks, anything that I can get, we're kind of updating on. We can comment on. Everybody can come in, kind of ask questions, and we're going to go from there. That's really it. That's the premise of today. Just live react to free agency, and that's all we're going to do. 5 p.m. Eastern. All right, chat. There we go. So officially noon. So that means teams can officially sign players. There's been some stuff that's been in the works recently. So to start the day, we had, I guess, the big news for me as of now is Victor Arvidsson. It was traded to the Boston Bruins in exchange for a 5th-round pick. Arvidsson was traded for a 5th-round pick to Boston. Montreal also traded Logan Mailloux to the St. Louis Blues for Zach Bolduc. So a couple minor trades to start the day. Guess we're going to see. Okay, so I mean, do I have multiple tabs open? I do. There we go. Let's mute that. Okay, so I might, you know what I might do, chat? I might want to pull up the best available as well. Best available. Okay, so there we go. So we got some major signings here to start the day, chat. So let's scroll through to the bottom for a second. So yeah, started yesterday. Okay, let's go yesterday. So yesterday it started. Where are we? Oh my god. Okay, let's go. Start from here. So Claude Giroux re-signing with the Sens. That was a big one. 1 year, $2 million with up to $5 million in bonus. Nyes re-signing with the Leafs. 6 years at 7.75 per year, which is great. It's a young RFA that's signed. Geeky goes back to Boston on a 6-year, $5.5 million deal. I think that's a great signing for them. They've been really good at cap management in the recent years. Nick Hague gets signed and traded and signed with Nashville for Sissons and Lausanne. That was an interesting one to me. I think that's a bit of an overpayment, but you know what? Hopefully he can step into that top 4 role and be solidifying that. And then Boston goes on a run of signing Yokiharu, which is a great cap for 3 years, $3 million to shore up that top 4. Beecher, a good depth forward, and DiPietro, a backup goalie. Oilers go on a quick little run of Kapanen and Phillip. I think Kapanen was a little bit of an overpayment at $1.3 million, if I'm being honest, chat. It's not a bad signing. It's only 1 year, but I think it could have come down just a little bit. And then Phillip, I think he's going to be the 4th-line center for Edmonton next year, and I think that's a great signing for them. Sasson, just a depth guy. Malinsky, good depth forward for the Avs. And then, Vancouver also signing Atu Radi and RG Baines. Again, 2 good depth forwards. Romanov was the first major signing off the board, where it's 8 years at 6.25 for the Islanders going back. So their top 4 is now shored up with Romanov, Schaefer, Pelech, and then a couple of depth pieces. Ekblad re-signs with Florida on the absolute shocker of $6 million for 8 years. Bouchard getting off the board here, $10.5 million for only 4 years. Not a big fan of that one. Not a big fan of that. I think that's severely under what he should have been for term. Excuse me. I think it should have been a longer term contract. John, what's the burning question? And then Marner, the big shocker. Who knew the tampering charges were true? Marner going to Vegas on an 8-year, $12 million cap hit deal. So then again, Provorov goes off the board. Big one, $8 million, staying in Columbus. That I didn't see coming, if I'm being quite honest. Now they have Werenski at 9 something and Provorov at 8.5. That's big money. That's big money, big dollars. I need to mute some things here, chat. First in line with the Gorilla, last one with Blondie Blue. That's a great question. Okay, that's a great question, John. I don't have the answer to that one. That's a thinker. Okay, and then another shocker. Marner goes back to Florida on a 6-year deal, $5 million cap. Don't know how they're going to make that work, but I'm here for it. We're going to see. Actually, where's the chat box? There. There you go. Let's make that a little bigger. And then Kuzmenko goes back to Los Angeles on a 1-year deal, $4.3 million. I love that signing for Los Angeles. I hate it for the rest of the league. He was torching everybody during the playoffs, so that's a great signing. Demko with a shocker, $3 million, 3-year, $8.5 million deal to stay in Vancouver. They have $13 million now tied up into their goalies with him and Lankinen. And Sivos is the third guy there. I'm surprised that they did lock him up and for that much and not try to trade one of the two, but who knows. Garland with another big signing this morning, 6 years, $6 million to stay in Florida. I think, again, that's a little bit of an overpayment for what he's contributed, but you know what? I think Vancouver needs to for the core that they have now. D'Angelo stays in the aisle. That's what I was saying. They shored up their defense again, so they have their top 6 essentially confirmed. Stankoven with a major re-signing at 8 years, $6 million cap. That's great for the Hurricanes. That's a very manageable cap, and I think Stankoven's only going to be getting better. Jake Allen, a 5-year, $1.8 million deal. He's going to be signed till he's 39, staying in Jersey. And then a couple minor signings here for Buffalo. So that's where we're at right now, chat. That's where we're at right now. Again, a couple minor signings, a couple trades on the board. Let's see. Sam Lafferty was just traded from the Blackhawks, and the Sabres got a 6th-round pick in return. Bro, I don't want these ads. They're throwing me off a little bit here. But that's where we're at, chat. That's where the updates are. Then, as of Frank Saravalli from a couple minutes ago, it sounds like the Ryan Lindgren is going back to the Avs after clearing out Charlie Coyle. Lindgren will be going to market. Excuse me. They will not be keeping him. They will be going to market. All right, chat. But how do we, it's good. So I don't even know where to go from here. There's a lot to break down. I got to find best available. NHL. Let's see, chat. I'm trying to find a better tracker than what we got now. Here we go. We can use this, sure. We'll use this. There we go. Okay. Wait, hold on. So we got best available here, chat. Maybe let's do a zoom out of this. There we go. We can get a little more on that list. And then we'll go shift this over a little bit. There we go. And then, you know, here, chat, sorry, I'm doing this all way last minute here. There we go. Okay, latest signings goes there. Sorry, chat. I'm all over the board here. All over the board here. You know what? Let's go shrink this. And shrink this. Okay, there we go, chat. And then we're going to move. No signings right at noon is crazy. I'm surprised. Elliot Freeman tweeting that I don't think we're going to hear anything on Nick Ehlers today. This one's going to play out a bit. That's unfortunate. But then Colin Blackwell is signing 2 years to stay in Dallas, a minimum deal at $775K. Sorry, chat. Let's. Okay. There we go. Let's move. There we go. Move that over. Okay, there we go, chat. I think we're getting this to a good spot. It's always about the balance here. And then window 2. There we go. There we go, chat. Best available, and then the signings there. Okay, that's how we're going to do it, chat. That's how we're going to do it. I'm not going to label that best available. I just can't. Damn. This is just messy, chat. This is so messy. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry with how bad that looks. Okay, I'm gonna try and edit that for us, chat. This is really bad on my part, chat. This is poor streamer etiquette. This is poor streamer etiquette, if I'm being honest. Okay, let's try something. Let's move this down. Did it not work? Hold on, chat. Are gonna. Guess not. Okay, hold on, chat. This is really horrible by me. I wish there was more free agency stuff going on, but I'm fucking worried about the camera. Okay, Dallas has announced that Glenn Gulletson has officially become the new head coach of the Dallas Stars. Flyers are finalizing a 1-year deal for UFA Christian Dvorak. That's very high for Christian Dvorak, in my opinion. That is a very high price to pay for Dvorak. Jesus. Save image as. There we go, chat. Okay, so we're gonna edit this a little bit. I'm so sorry. We're gonna make this a square versus where we're currently at rectangular. Give it a little more space here. Right, camera outline. There we go. There we go, chat. NHL logo. There we go, chat. Look how much better that looks. So much better. Oh, dude, I hate that I'm doing this on stream too. It just looks so bad, and I feel bad for the viewer. It just looked terrible. All right. There we go. Okay. And we're going to move everything over, chat. Everything moves over. There we go. Let's just go top 30. I think top 30 is good. All right, chat. There we go. Perfect. That's what we're going with. That's a setup for the day. I think this looks much better. W's, chat's underneath to get some notifications. This is cool. I like this. Okay, so let's get that done. Bang. Okay. There we go, chat. Okay, so first signing of the day, Christian Dvorak, a 1-year deal to the Flyers. I mean, it's big money, it's short term. The Flyers have done a good job at rebuilding that, or like rebuilding so far on the fly. I don't know how Dvorak fits there, to be quite honest with you. He's going to probably jump into, I don't want to say second line because I don't think he jumps Cates. Like, they're very deep at center now, but is he going to be playing center or wing? That's the real question, right? So down the middle, they'll have Couturier, Cates. They just traded for Zegras. And on the wing, they have the left side, Michkov, Forrest, or Tippett. And then the right side would be Konechny, Brink. Probably, I think he slots in third line. Like, that's an expensive third line winger. I mean, hey, that's that's nobody off the top 30, which is kind of crazy. Nobody off the top 30. Like, Drouin's ranked number 6 in terms of top available players. I don't know if I agree with that. That's crazy, though, chat. Okay, so big news, though. Big news. Hold on. Actually, I gotta have Twitter open to fucking quickly pan to you guys. I gotta have Twitter open so we can pan for all these notifications. So, again, chat, we got some other news, right? So, let's see. Victor Arvidsson to the Bruins, we covered that. Oh, I think my delivery's here, chat. Okay, bear with me, chat. I'm going to be right back. Oh, new update. Parker Kelly agrees to a 4-year deal. I just saw that pop up. 4 years by $1.7 million. $1.7 million for Parker Kelly. Was not a delivery, chat. Was not a delivery. Okay, so let's see. So yeah, Parker Kelly signs a 4-year, $1.7 million deal with the Avs. How does that do for their cap situation? They have to have some cap space. I think he goes and plays fourth line for them at 1.7 million, Parker Kelly, because I think that would make the most sense. Depth chart. I mean, like, 1.7 million is the same as Drury. Kelly probably slots in a third line left wing. I guess that makes sense for them. Third line left wing, and cap projections, they currently will have $4 million after that signing. That's not terrible. Like, he goes back there on a decent deal with $4 million. And they still have Drouin to re-sign if they want. VC, Caravana. They got some options. I'm excited to see what the Oilers do, though. Do they go after a big middle six forward? All right, let's see. Let's see. All right, chat. Here we go. Big signing update as it pops up on the screen. According to Dan Milstein, congratulations to Amir something on signing a 1-year contract with Carolina from the KHL. So they signed their KHL goalie. We got a couple signings. Not crazy, okay? Chat, we said this already. Glenn Gulletson signing as the Dallas head coach. That is big news, big news. Big news, big news. Swiss-based agent is obviously feeding a lot of calls. All right, chat. Here we go. According to Bob McKenzie, the Swiss-based agent is fielding calls for Nikolai Ehlers and will make a decision. There's no guarantee his client will make a decision today. It's likely to carry over till tomorrow. That's unfortunate for free agency. Like the number one free agent doesn't want to sign today. Damn. Okay. Oh my God, chat. I'm trying to find stuff. I'm trying to stay on top of it. We already talked about Sam Lafferty going back to Chicago. That's a good depth piece for them to have. Good leadership presence. Draft board's latest signings. Okay. Let's keep looking, chat. We're looking for updates as they come in. Okay, so on this trade for the Habs, they get Zach Bolduc. Decent young forward, chat. We're going to pull this up. Decent young forward. Okay, projects really nice. Market value is a $6 million fucking forward. Jesus. So he's going to slot in very nicely there. Very, very nicely. Net rating, goals. Oh, what a great pickup for the Habs. That's a great pickup for the Habs. So if we go to their roster, like where does he fit in is the question. Where does he fit in on their roster? So like if we look at their depth chart. If we look at their depth chart here, chat. I mean, I think he slides in really nicely where Gallagher is. Oh man, those contracts are killing them. The Gallagher and Anderson ones. I don't think Bolduc's going to end up playing fourth line, though. I don't. I think he'll end up sliding where Gallagher is. They'll move. It's just so questionable. Like, they could move Doc off the team altogether, trade Doc, and then everybody kind of slides up. Newhook goes to center. Bolduc moves up. The question is, do you trade a 24-year-old Kirby Doc? That is the ultimate question right now. I don't know if they should. I think Doc will end up finding his game, but, dude, Montreal is on paper looking really good. And they have, if we look at their summary, they're a little over in the cap space, so they gotta shed some. And I think the Gallagher and or Anderson deals here are the most likely of them to kind of sacrifice for it. I think that's interesting. The question is, chat, what's next? Like, what's the big next one? I know the Blues and Habs have talked about Kyrou. Then they settled on Bolduc. And he's an RFA next year, too. He's only 22. Oh, that's really good. And then St. Louis getting out of that deal. St. Louis on their D now have... Oh, wow, that's actually really a deep decor. Here you go, chat. We're going to show you this. So their depth on D is Fowler, Parinko, Broberg, Falk, Leddy, Melia. Like, that's very good. That is very good. God damn. And that's without Krug, who's probably done for his career. Leddy will be up next year. Broberg will be up for some more money next year. Oh my God, it's actually a really solid defense. Not like an elite defense. It's a solid defense. Like there's nothing wrong with that. So St. Louis looks really good right now. All right. Let's go. Okay, Faravari would re-sign for $6 million over 8 years. That's very good. Don't think the Gloria is closed on. Corey Perry returned to Edmonton Oilers. Don't have a ton of wiggle room, but also don't need to do a ton. Perry's preference has always been to stay in Edmonton on a bonus incentivized deal, but there's a list of contenders that are impressed. Very interesting. Oh, Aaron Ekblad's on TSN right now talking about his new deal. He's on the golf course, it looks like, actually, chat. On the golf course. Oh. Oh, did Besser just re-sign in Vancouver, chat? I think Besser just re-signed in Vancouver. I think Besser just re-signed in Vancouver. 7 years, 7.25. I think Besser just re-signed in Vancouver, chat. Oh, what? Damn, that's crazy if that's true. That is crazy if that's true. William Eklund has also re-signed or signed an extension with San Jose, carrying a $5.6 million AAV. Hold on, chat. Notifications. I'm going to show you guys. Yep. So Besser does re-sign in Van, making that official. Ah, that's pooey. That's poo. That's poo. Here you go, chat. So Eklund has re-signed with the Sharks, according to Chris Johnston. 5.6 million AAV. That's a very good deal for them. Ah, damn, that's so poo. Can't believe Besser just did all that to re-sign. I can't believe that. $7 years too is crazy. I can't believe he didn't get 8. Damn, chat. I like that Eklund deal. That's very team friendly, especially knowing that they're gonna have to resign Celebrini, Smith, and probably Misa's extension at the same time as Eklund. So like it sets them up well with cap. Damn, I can't believe Besser stayed. I can't believe Besser stayed. That sucks. That really sucks. Damn. Okay, so let's look at Vancouver here, chat. Vancouver, Besser staying on the first line. I mean, staying. I'm very surprised. I will be honest that he did resign. I get it, like but like, I just don't like. I don't see Vancouver winning. Like, I get it. Like, they are a deep team, chat. Like, let's on paper they are a deep team. They just need to work on some like bottom six forwards. Like, but it's just not a winning roster, right? This is just not a winning roster, and we already know the Hughes situation. So like, give that a year or two to figure itself out. But it's not a terrible roster. It's just not a great roster, if that makes sense. So now, like, cap wise, they were already over. They're going to be 7. That's with Besser. They're slightly over, and that means Suter's gone. So, damn. Oh my God. Corey Perry's going to Los Angeles. No fucking chance. No fucking chance Perry's going to LA. Dude. Damn. Chat, you want to see something crazy? Here, chat, let me show you something crazy. So the Habs, we talk about how well the Habs have rebuilt. Look at this, chat. The Habs under 25 core: Suzuki, Dobson, Caulfield, Hudson, Demidov, Slav, Gooley, Struble, Reinbacher, Bolduc. That is fucking nuts. And they just drafted Zorofsky too. And that's without Zorofsky. That is crazy, chat. That is fucking crazy. That is a really good fucking core. God damn. That is incredibly good. Yep. Perry to Los Angeles. That's crazy. You know what? I'm not gonna lie, chat. I'm not upset about that. Especially depending on what the money is gonna be. If it's $1 million deal, I might be upset. But like, I think we needed to figure it out. Damn. Oh God, this is quite fucking annoying. Success Pro. I'm good, brother. Thank you though. Damn. All right. Yep, Corey Perry to LA. Dude, they love taking our scraps, man. Fucking Warren Fogle, now Corey Perry. Okay. Oh, Kevin Weeks as of 5 minutes ago. Here we go, chat. The Flyers, Mammoth, Rangers, and Islanders are the favorites to land Russian forward Shabanov. Wasn't he in the NHL before? Or am I crazy? Hold on. Maxim Shabanov. I swear he's only 24. Okay, so I'm thinking of somebody else. No, I'm thinking of the guy who was on Vegas. Who was on Vegas before. What was his name? Oh, I forget his name. When did Vegas join the league? Vegas. Vadim Chipachev. That's who I'm thinking of. Vadim Chipachev. Ooh, okay, so let's see. Let's look at Maxim Shabanov. Shabanov. Let's learn a little bit about him. So in the KHL as a 24-year-old, where is he? The regular season, he played 65 games, put up 67 points, and he was a point per game player in the KHL. That's really good. That seems really good. Right? Here we go, chat. There you go. You can see his stats. So in the regular season in the KHL, he hit 67 points in 65 games. Damn. All right. I mean, that's an interesting piece to look out for. Surprised it's it's like a good young player. It's only on a 1-year deal as like a trial, so I mean it's trial by error, right? Um let's go. Chat fucking dead. Holland, you need a Darnell. I agree, they do need a Darnell. They do. They do. Oh my goodness. Okay. Let's see, chat. Let's see. No big signing since that Perry update, and no update on the Perry money. But that's, I mean, like, we're starting off pretty hot here, chat. We're having a great start to this so far. I cannot complain. We got, what, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 signings? Granted, it's Besser staying in Vancouver, which is kind of unfortunate. And, I mean, Gulletson, too. Gulletson, we got a couple trades. I mean, we're doing all right. We're doing all right in terms of content we have. It doesn't look like Ehlers going. So, like, of our big board list, we have number 3 off the list, number 7 off the list, number 10 off the list. So 3 of the top 10 are already gone. What did Elliot Friedman just tweet? Yeah, Corey Perry too, Los Angeles official. Damn. I mean, chat, you know what? It hasn't worked. Fuck it. Just like, it's unfortunate it hasn't worked, but you know what? You gotta, at some point, you just gotta like figure out the roster and where you're at. I mean, if you decide between Kapanen and a Perry, and Perry wants 2 million plus, like on a cap strong team, it's very hard. It's very hard to do that. Like here on our depth chart, let's pull out our depth chart here. What? Dan Vladar is signing in Philadelphia, carrying a 2-year, $3.35 million deal. That's a big one. Vladar is off the board. Philly is getting goaltending like they need. They do need it. Depth chart, where we at? Depth chart, Edmonton. So here we are, chat. This is where Edmonton's currently at. It's not great on paper. Let's just be as real as it is. It's not great on paper. I think they got to move out Rico. And the Hudson obviously is not going to be on this roster to start the season. I think Philippe will be the 4th line with Janmark and somebody. I think Jones will get sent down. I think Hudson will get sent down, and they flip off for Henrique. And then it's a couple like plug and play players, but it's not terrible. I mean, Himes is also on IR. Emberson's on IR. So like they got some work to do. They got some goaltending to upgrade. But we'll see. I mean, like, I'm not holding my breath. Like, everything's going to be solved today. But I was hoping for Vladar as an option. Like, $3 million for Vladar is not bad. And he's only 27 too, chat. Like, that is a great. That's a great deal for the Flyers. Damn. I really wanted Vladar. He would have been solid. Love me, say that you love me. All right, let's see. Any new updates? New. Love me, say that you love me. Fool me. Damn, chat. I mean, we got some shit cooking. Look at that. Flyers have spent $7 million now. But what's their depth in goaltending? Let's see. Philly. So their goaltending depth would be, oh yeah, it's poo. They got Vladar Fedorov, I think is a bit of an overpayment at 3.275, and then Arison. But maybe that makes Arison expendable. Because like it's 25 at a 1.4 cap hit and controllable for 2 more years before UFA. Like they could look to trade him. Interesting. They're just deep. They're just deep with average players. All right, let's see. Oh, Perry signed for almost $3.5 million total. Yeah, that's crazy. It's base plus bonuses for Perry. That is crazy. Also, Minnesota is closing in on bringing back free agent Nico Sturm, 5th best faceoff guy in the NHL last year. Damn. Oh, Juleson signed in Philly too? I didn't even see that. I did not even see that. Damn. That's, you know what? Enjoy it. Let's see, chat. Tons of stuff popping up now. I mean, you can see it on the screen. There's the Vladar, the Perry deal. Perry is base plus bonus. And then Faravari signing that extension. I think I mentioned that earlier to you guys. Tons of stuff going on. But yeah, Philly, we were talking about Philly's mediocrity here. I mean, like, Vladar is solid. He's just struggled with save percentage, and I think he needs a solid D in front of him. Pause. A solid core in front of him, but I think we could have had that. But the question is that an upgrade versus Skinner? That's the ultimate question, and I don't think it's a significant enough upgrade to warrant paying the extra money, the extra $2 million that would be Pickard not being there. So I think Edmonton for goaltending needs to be big fish swinging if they are, or somebody that's going to have like a major marginal change versus like a minimal change in terms of like impact. Like the save percentage moving like the needle like 0.02 is not going to make the big difference. So we're going to see, chat. Like there's still tons of stuff pouring in here. Tons of stuff pouring in. All right, chat. We're scrolling. Dude, so on this TSN broadcast, Craig Button's saying the Oilers are 10 times worse, essentially, with Corey Perry leaving. I don't know if I agree. Ooh, I see it popped up on the screen. Gage Gonzalez. I haven't seen that yet. Is that a TSN breaking point? Or a TSN breaking? Gage Gonzalez for $2.4 million, $1 million cap. That's a great signing for Tampa if that's true. That's a great signing for Tampa. Very, very good team-friendly deal. New Jersey's making a strong pitch at Connor Brown. Oh, God. We really are losing everybody. This team's done. Yep, Gage Gonzalez, 2 year, 1.2 million AAV, confirmed. Damn, that's another great signing. And as you can see, chat, Gate, I think he's what, like a third liner for them, Gonzalez? Or is he a scratch player? No, he's not a scratch player. Sorry, that's a bit much. I think that means Finley comes out, Chafee moves down, he slides into third. Oh, I'm not even showing you guys. I think, sorry, in terms of depth, Chafee slides down, Finley comes out, and then he slides in. That's a great signing for them. Oh, the mic's just cut out from everybody on stream. Okay, so it's not me. That's good to know. Good to know, chat, that it's totally not me that's not having this work. Is Gavrikov back? Oh, Gavrikov to the Rangers. Okay. Gavrikov to the Rangers on a 7-year, $7 million deal. Ooh. Don't know if I love that, if I'm being quite honest, chat. I don't know if I love that. I think that means Keandre Miller's gone. I think that means Miller's gone. Because here, chat, we're going to show you the Rangers here. Susie, I don't think stays. Miller gone. Schneider, yeah. Everybody, like this top four, I think will be finalized. But damn, chat. That's an interesting choice to keep to get Gavrikov over Miller. I mean, Miller's the younger version of the two. But as you can see, Gavrikov gone. That is number 2 on the list, gone. 3 on the list, gone. 7 on the list, gone. 10 on the list, gone. Scrolling down. Yoel Armia, they announced just now, is also signing in Los Angeles. So that is number 22 off the list, gone. D'Angelo also off the list. Yeah, and I see, and Vladar off the list. There's just a lot. There's a lot of guys going right now. And then as you can see, the Avs are making a couple of depth signings. Let's see. Damn, that's crazy. That is... I'm surprised he went to New York, if I'm being honest, chat. Like, I get it, like the lure, but that is interesting. I think Keandre Miller's gone then. I'm just so curious as to where. Probably Detroit. Yeah, Will Cooley as well needs to be signed. Oh, man. There you go, chat. You can see it pop up there. Yoel Armia going to Los Angeles. Doesn't have I can't find an amount on that one yet. I haven't even seen it announced versus like just saying it out loud. Oh, here we go, chat. I didn't see this because of all the stuff going through, but it's the first look of Misa It's the first look of Misa at Sharks camp. I didn't realize he was that big. Like, he looks big. How tall is Misa? That's a great question. Michael Misa. 6'1". Yeah, geez. That's not bad. I didn't realize he was 6'1". I thought he was much smaller. Oh, God. Keandre Miller, per Elliot Friedman, is going to Carolina. And Connor Brown has signed 4 years, $3 million with the Devils. Wow. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. So there we go. Connor Brown is now off the board and out of Edmonton. Damn. I mean, like, again, we can't afford that. That's just so much money. But that's the issue, right? That's the issue with these big fucking contracts that nobody wants to take less on. Oh my God. So we lost Brownie. So far the Oilers have lost Brown, Arvidsson, Skinner, Perry. Damn. That is fucked. And Keandre Miller going to Carolina. I mean, like, that's probably going to replace Orlov. I think it depends on what they get, but like Carolina's doing really well in terms of bringing in younger talent that's like able to fill in there. Plus they'd lost Burns as well. So where would he play? I'm trying to think. Like, they got Slavin, Chatfield, Gossesbear, Walker. Oh, maybe they're trading Chatfield to New York, and it's like another depth guy or a Gossesbear or something. I just had a lot of left-hand shot defensemen. Nikishin, or the Russian guy, like, they're going to be deep. They're going to be deep on D. Pause. I just don't know what that amount is going to be. Interesting. To Carolina. I don't like that fit. I mean, it's an interesting fit, but I just don't like the fit based on everything else that they have. Sorry, chat. So there's a lot going on right now. So let's just summarize. Keandre Miller is going to from the New York Rangers to Carolina. Carolina signed Gavrikov instead, as you can see on the screen, for $7 million for 7 years. So they decided to ship that off. We're waiting on the return right now from Carolina to New York. And then we are also saying Connor Brown. Connor Brown was the other one that went to the New Jersey Devils. So if we look at Jersey, where Connor Brown slots in, Connor Brown was signing for $3 million. I mean, like, they lost a lot of depth guys. If we're being honest, like, they have a good D, but they needed some like third and fourth line guys. I think Connor Brown will help that. So, like, on paper, right? So here's the depth. I think Connor Brown slots in well with Mercer and Cotter if they don't trade Mercer, but I think he slides in really well on that third line, and they need to replace that entire fourth line of theirs. And they could still do it, right? Like, they have Casey they can trade, or Nemec, who's asked for out, Kovacevic, who will come back. Like, their defense is incredible. I will say their defense is incredible, and a strength that they can trade out of. They still have to re-sign Hughes. And what's their cap right now? They have $12 million. So now it'll be $8 million. $8 million to re-sign a fourth line and Luke Hughes. The question is, will they sign Luke Hughes long-term or on a bridge deal? And if they sign Luke Hughes, who ships out, Casey or Nemec? I think the best thing that they could do, this is my opinion, I could be wrong, is Nemec is asked to be traded already. Like, it's not anything different that we already know. He's asked for a trade. So you trade off of Nemec for a good young player that can fill your top, or that can fit into your bottom six, get some assets back for the deadline. You sign Luke Hughes long-term with some good money, and or you maybe trade off of Siegenthaler, maybe off of Siegenthaler, or who knows? Honestly, they do have to shed some cap. Siegenthaler or Mercer would make the most sense to me. That's where I would go with it. Damn. Also, we are jumping back to we're jumping back to that Yoel Armia deal quickly, chat. We're gonna scroll, or I can't really even scroll. It's 2-year deal, but the terms. Oh, you guys see that there? 2-year deal, but the amount is still to be determined. Damn. That's crazy. There is a lot going on, but nothing like the best. I think Besser was the biggest surprise going back to Van. And then there we go. Toronto is in the cusp of signing Michael Pezzetta. Michael Pezzetta is going to Toronto. Terms and prices to be determined. That's who Toronto's been long associated with. What is this? What did I just get? I mean, that's Toronto's fourth line big banger right there. That's adding to the Toronto's fourth line. That's going to plug and play really well. I wonder if that takes him out of the Tanev conversation. I mean, it's good depth for cheap, probably. Oh, big signing. My buddy just broke to me. Tanner Jeannot is signing a 5-year, $3.4 million with Boston. Big surprise. Boston, Boston, Boston. Okay, so we have tons of shit that should be popping up here now. Tons of shit that should be popping up now for you guys. Oh. Hold on, chat. Sorry. That just threw me for a loop for a minute. You gotta move that down. There we go. There we go, chat. So you can see Michael Pezzetta on a 2-year deal for essentially league minimum. There we go. Pezzetta to the Leafs. Hometown kid comes home. Damn. Tons of stuff going on, chat. Everything's following through now. Big. Big filters. Oh, man. I mean, that's a big signing for the Leafs. Big free agent signing, but it's a big physical presence though. All right, chat. That being said, I will be right back. Oh, as I say that, Twitter pops off. It's just a bizarre idea. I will be right back. I'm just running to the washroom. What did I see here, chat? All right, chat. They got Connor Brown talking right now. All right, here we go. So back to Armia, 2.5 for 2 years. Nick Cousins. Who's that? Nick Cousins? Yeah, that was reported yesterday. 800 for 1 year. Colin White, on a two-way deal. Wow. That's crazy. Damn. Colin White on a two-way deal is a little crazy. There's a lot going on, chat, and I'm doing a horrible job. I'm trying to listen to Connor Brown speaking too, but like, so much going on. I can't really keep up, chat. I'm trying. Okay, what do we got? More notifications. We talked about Faravari. We've talked about Jeannot, Pizzetta. Okay, we've hit a little bit of a lull. We've hit a little lull, chat. So let's go through it. Nick Cousins stays in Ottawa. I think that's a fine depth piece. Colin White, I think, is an interesting depth piece there. I don't know why it's on a two-way deal, but I get it. Maybe it's a prove-it type of contract. Pizzetta's a nice fourth line piece for the Leafs. Berube wants grit. They get some grit. It can come in and out of the lineup. It's a nice spark plug for the playoffs. Better than like a $1.5 million deal. As you saw, Jeannot just popped up for $3.4 million for 5 years. That to me is a little bit of an overpayment, if you ask me. But it's a typical Boston player, right? He'll slide in very nicely on their third line, and probably just be a perfect role player for them. Yoel Armia, same thing. Like Los Angeles has their top 6. Let's call it solidified. This is like solidifying their top 9 bottom line with between Perry and Armia, and it's going to be a very, very, very deep team next year. They need to work on their defense a little bit, in my opinion. I'll show it to you guys. I'll show you guys the depth chart here for Los Angeles. So here we go. We'll have probably Perry slot in somewhere on this line or as an extra player, maybe over Turcotte, or maybe they look to explore trading Trevor Moore or somebody else here. But I think this is a very, very deep team. And as you can see, they also have Akil Thomas. And then their defense, I think they need a little bit of work done on it. Oops. And we're going to jump back here. Connor Brown, again, we just talked about it before. He's going to slot very nicely on New Jersey's third line, bringing some good leadership, I think. And their PK as well, I think, needs some help. And then we have Gavrikov as the big signing so far. And that's kind of where we're at, chat. Like again, Washington officially just announced Faravari's extension, which is good. Oh man. Yeah. Leon Perry. Oh man, that's okay. I think it's fine. I think I'm more upset about like Brownie leaving than I am Perry. But it's all good. I mean, like a 39-year-old for $3.5 million is not something we could afford. Damn. Okay, so let's look at the Bruins for a second, chat. I want to look at that Tanner Jeannot fit. Oh man, they paid him big donaire. Jesus. All right, let's see. Here we go. All right, so I mean, they got Arvidsson today from us, from the Oilers. Um, they got Beecher. 1 second. 1 second, chat. Apollo, geez, chat. It's the Dark Ages season 2 for the Oilers. I don't know if it's the Dark Ages. I don't think it is. I think it's the opportunity. I think my opinion is very different from others. If they got to ship out two big contracts to make some space for other guys. They got to make some space for other guys. Unfortunately, I think the Darnell contract and the Henrique contract is going to hurt them this year, but next year will be a lot more flexible with some additional money. Oops, my bad, chat. But yeah, we were talking about the Jeannot fit. What am I doing? Right, so Jeannot. I think Jeannot fits really well on this third line, in my opinion, or even he could play fourth line. But like, I think like a fucking scary line. It would be. It doesn't matter about where they play, but like a Kastelik, with Jeannot and Middlestat would be interesting, man. It'd be so interesting. Just a heavy, fast line. Heavy, fast line. All right, what do we got? That's it. That's still the last deal to be signed. Last deal that anything's been reported on. Nurse needs to go so we can get a goalie. I don't think it's Nurse. I think it's just like I think it's more than just Nurse at this point, right? You got to look at it from a perspective of Leon took 14 and a half or something. It was 14 and a half, I think, right? Well deserved. I'm not saying it's not well deserved, but like look at what Florida did. And I get that there's a little bit of income difference. Bro, Florida, um, their best player is making 10 million. That 14.5 million versus the 10 million was the difference to them signing Marchand. Let's call it Marchand roughly, right? Then let's look at the second best player, Kachuk, 9.5 million. Now, granted, McDavid's a lot better. He's still on his $12.5 million deal. That $3.5 million is Forsling, roughly give or take. It's like $1 million off, right? So now between two guys that, yes, granted, are better for the Oilers, and you're paying more money. I'm not saying they're not, and they're not worth the money. I'm saying between just two contracts, just two, that's $8 million. That's Reinhardt on your team. That is any subsequent player that is a star on Florida that is willing to take a little bit less money to stay and like win the cup again. That is Verhaeghe. That is Marchand. That is Jones. That is Ekblad. That is another significant piece, right? Okay, I get it. Bouchard gets his money. Okay, granted, it's 10 and a half. You'd think it'd be 8 years when the cap's projecting. Nope, it takes 4 years so we can get more money in 4 years. I'm not upset with the money. I'm upset with the term, but I think I am upset with the money a little bit for the fact of like, again, look at what Ekblad just did to stay in Florida. $6 million. Now I'm not saying take $6 million because Bouchard on paper is the better defenseman. Not what I'm saying. right? What I'm saying is there has to be a little give towards winning as a team and wanting to keep your team together and your core together, right? This team just went back-to-back Stanley Cup finals. Went to back-to-back Stanley Cup finals. And that was with the core of Connor Brown, Matthias Janmark, McDavid, Draisaitl, Nurse, Bush, Ekholm, Skinner, right? Like Stuart Skinner and Pickard, right? Like you have like a core of group of guys, but yet when it comes down to it, Bouchard was not willing to let's say the Oilers could only offer Brown $2 million, right? Let's say, and then they go to Bouch and they're like, look, we want to give you $9 million on a 4-year deal. That's still a good amount of money, and I'm not saying it's not, but like, bro, that $1 million is the difference between you keeping Connor Brown and you losing Connor Brown, because now you have to fill guys like a Kasperi Kapanen. I'm not saying Kapanen's contract was bad, but that's the type of player that you need to fill out your roster versus having an impact player. You can't afford to keep an Arvids and you can't afford to keep anybody else. Like there's no money to go around. And that was the issue with the Leafs for the longest time, right? And still kind of is, except for this Marner deal. And now the Leafs are smart. They're realizing, oh, we have depth pieces we can add, right? They got Roy on the Machelli. Their defense is a lot deeper now. Like they've gone away from massive like contracts, except for maybe 1 to 2 guys, and then they spread it out. The Oilers aren't doing that. They're the same thing as the Oilers. They're like, fuck it, pay the big guys the big money, and we'll figure it out because the big guys can carry us. But it showed this playoffs that you need the depth to support it. They need the depth to support it, and that was the consistency of Brown. That was the consistency of a Janmark and/or an Arvidsson contributing at points. Like and even Jeff Skinner stepping in, right? Like that's money that you need to save, but the team does not realize that. And or the players just don't give a shit. And you know what? It's not saying that the players aren't worth the money, but when you have arguably two of the top 3 best players in the world and the best player in the world, it's going to cost dollars. But you got to sacrifice to win, unless you just say fuck it at this point, right? Like it's a year from now we'll realize what's gonna come down the crapshoot when McDavid signs for like 18. He's gonna get a fucking massive pay raise too. It's gonna be a blank check. So when you have McDavid making 18, Nurse making 9.25, Bouchard making 10.5, and Draisaitl making 14, where's the fucking roster? Where's the fucking roster? You're literally going to have 4 guys making that. Like Ekholm's up next year. How are you re-signing Ekholm? He's going to want more than $6 million. Wallman's up next year. He's going to want more than $3.4 million. Like, where's this money going? It's going to fucking evaporate, and this team's going to be decimated. This team is going to be decimated. What can you do? I think that is going to be the dark ages. And like, even if they get off this Nurse deal, let's say, right? And this is where I have this discrepancy with people. Even if they get off of this Nurse deal, granted, it's great for this year. Bro, McDavid's going to make $6 million more next year. So you're saving $3 million. $3 million. What defenseman is coming in for $3 million? Granted, yes, Wallman is like an odd case. $3 million. What defenseman's coming in for that? That's going to make a significant impact. Nothing. Like a very far and few between. Look at what Gavrikov just went for. Look at what all these like Haig went for, and Haig's playing like top 4 minutes, bro. Like. I don't know, chat. I think that's the frustrating part. Like they're fucked. They're fucked long term. Like they had a window, and now it's about drafting players and bringing in good young players like a Matt Savoy next year. I think Savoy will have to step up. I think Phillip will have to re-sign for dirt cheap. Like it's gonna be, and that's what you're gonna see this year, right? And every team has spread out their money except for this team because they have too many good players. Anyways. Let's see. Let's see, chat. Hmm. Oilers are just bad at this. Um, I don't know about that. I mean, like you gotta look at it like last year, right? Like they made big swings. They made big swings last year with Arvidsson, Skinner, re-signing Rico, um, Brownie, and Yanmark. It's just they make good big swings, but that was Jeff versus Stan. Um, they're good at making the swings. I'm not saying they're not. I think they just need to be smarter with where they're putting their money. Oh yeah, they lost Evander Kane too. Decimated. Damn. I'm sorry, I'm just listening to this chat. They're talking about the Oilers, saying that they don't need to rush to add a goalie. What about the Oilers goalie coach? Is he gone? I think so. I don't know. I think they're re-interviewing all the coaches and training staff, like assistant coaches and training staff this week, because I think it's all their contracts were up. So I know Coffey's contract was up, but he wants to come back, and they're just going through the process right now. Mm. Dallas got Glenn Gulletson from the Oilers. Yeah, I saw that. I saw that. I'm not too worried about that. I'm not too worried about that. Mm. Damn, there is really no updates now. Now we've hit a lull. We go through like highs and lows now. Burrows games. Hmm. Damn. I mean, the list seems decimated, and it's not even like a heavy list of like the top 30 agents of free agents that we got here, Chad. Hmm. Are in Edmonton or elsewhere? What do you mean? What do you mean? Like me or like this interview right now? Um. Yes, me. No, I'm not in Edmonton. No. Damn. Oh. No, I am not in Edmonton. Oh, so they're talking on the panel now saying McDavid might sign a 2 years, $30 million deal. Fuck that, man. 15 million. Like, hmm. Ugh. Ugh, chat. Ugh. Ugh. Nobody likes this. 2 years only? Yeah, that's what they're saying because the cap's going to go up even more. So, like, for him to sign a long term deal, it doesn't make sense. Oh, this is. Hold on. I want to take a screenshot of this. Hold on, hold on, hold on. I guess I can't take a screenshot of it. Damn. It was just showing, like, the Oilers' current cap allocations. All right, chat. Next, Kevin Weeks has just said the Islanders are signing goalie David Rittich. David Rich, Kaylor Yamamoto to Utah. Enjoy him. Have fun with him. Two-way deal. That makes sense. That makes sense. He hasn't been established enough in the NHL to like warrant a one-way deal. Seattle Kraken have signed Ryan Lindgren to a 4-year, $4.5 million deal. Damn. And as of a couple minutes ago, I missed this as well. The Habs have signed Capo Kakinen. That's a backup goalie. That's so interesting that you carry Capo Kakinen and then trade Primo. They must really not have liked Primo. But they also have Dobish, right? Dobish. I can't pronounce it properly. Seattle Kraken have signed Lauren Lingler. Yeah, I don't know how like. That's a very questionable signing to me from Seattle, and I'll show you guys why. Like it's a good money value signing, but you guys can see here they have Vince Dunn on the left side. They got Montour on the right. They got Larson on the right at 32, and he signed till he's 33, 34, 35, right? They have Alexiak for 1 year at 4.6, which to me means he's gone next year. Lindgren at 4.5, and that's signed for a long term. So to me, and then they still have to sign Riker Evans, who's on the left side. They're very left side heavy, and I mean, obviously it's sign best player if you can, sure, but I don't think the Lingering can play the right side. I mean, again, it's just a lot of like Dunn is great, Montour is great. It's just like mid after that, and they still have to sign Capo, and they have what now? 13 million. Okay, I mean, like they can do it, but I think they're missing like a top end talent. They still got to re-sign um all of these guys like extensions. Seattle's just a weird one to me, where it's like you're very average. You're very average. Blues are signing Nick Bukestad to a 2-year, $1.75 million deal. David Rittich popping up. Yep. I'm surprised by this Kakinen trade, if I'm saying. Like, they traded Primo, but then they have Dobish. So, I don't... Does that mean they trade Dobish? That's a head scratcher. Or it could just be goalie depth, I guess. I mean, it's only a 1-year deal. It seems like a 1-year deal. Depth from Philly, Juleson, and Gilbert. Oh. Rittich to the Isle. I mean, who do they have? Varlamov. Sorokin. Does that mean they're trading Sorokin? Is that a thing? Who did the Ducks get for Gibson? It was Mrazek and 2 picks. But it was full cap that went to Detroit, like the 6.3, I think it is. 6.3. I'll tell you exactly what it was. I think it was a sec. I know it was Mrazek, a second, and a fourth. I just don't know the years on the picks, and it was all of Gibson's contract going. Nick Bukestad to St. Louis. I don't mind that for St. Louis. That's a good third line. It's a good third line signing. I hate that I like it for St. Louis. Here we go, chat. So you can see St. Louis's depth. So he'll slide in probably where Holloway is. I think Holloway's also not a center, by the way. Holloway plays wing. So Holloway would probably slide in where Neighbors is. Neighbors moves up to where Snuggerud is. And Joseph would also probably move down. Or they just slide him fourth line and then move Sundqvist to the wing. But they are a very deep team as well, St. Louis. It's the same thing. They distribute their money very well. Very, very well. 1 through 13. Parker Wotherspoon is going to Pittsburgh. 2 years, $1 million a year. Parker Wotherspoon to the Penguins. I'm going to look at the Islanders here quick, chat, because I don't understand why they brought in Rittich unless Varlamov is like done for the season. I mean, that would actually make sense, but they had Hoberg, right? So here we look at their goaltending depth. They got Sorokin. Varlamov is on the IR. I don't know what the injury is that he's on. He maybe goes LTIR, but essentially his money is what they just gave Rittich, right? Like that is exactly what they just gave Rittich. So it's only on a 1-year deal, so that's kind of interesting. I mean, I wonder if it's just like a he recovers type thing, and we'll go from there. But it also probably makes one of their goalies expendable. But like, I mean, the Islanders seem to be slightly retooling and going for it. I mean, their defense is solid, 1 through 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think one of their defensemen are expendable because especially if Schaefer makes that jump next year. Or, Schaefer could also go to college, right? Like, that's a thing as well. Or back to the O. 2, 3, 4. What's their cap space situation? They got 12 million in cap space. They have some interesting options. I would not be surprised to see Gatcomb resign. I really like Gatcomb. They got to sign Heineman, who their big Dobson acquisition. They got some money. They got some money to move. Flames are close to closing in on signing goaltender Ivan Provesterov, who had a great season in Russia. Wasn't that the guy from the Flyers? Pretty sure that was the guy from the Flyers. Yeah, I don't know. Don't know, chat. Things are as of Darren Dreger, things are progressing for Sabres D-man Bowen Byram. Trade conversations are happening with Calgary, Vegas, LA, St. Louis. If he goes to Vegas, chat. If he goes to Vegas, I will lose my mind. So Byram potentially to Calgary, Vegas, Los Angeles, or St. Louis. That's to be determined as of 33 seconds ago. I would like pizza right now. Would like a pizza. So who's left on our big board here? So you have Ehlers left. Gavrikov is gone. Besser is gone. Granlund's alive. Orlov's alive. Drouin is alive. Allen gone. Suter, yes. Roslovic, yes. Perry, no. Schmidt, yes. Tanev, yes. Perbix, yes. Perbix would be interesting. Beauvillier, yes. Grizzlick, yes. Pacioretty, yes. Dodonov, yes. Mangiapane, yes. Lyon, yes. I mean, there's still a good amount of players on this big board left. Fair amount of guys left. Oh. I don't know how real this is. The Hockey Insider, I don't know how real this is, has said the Canadiens and Lightning are discussing an Anthony Cirelli trade. Jones will play for the Oilers? I don't think so. I don't think so. You're saying Max Jones? I don't think so. I think Jones will get sent down and they'll use his $1 million in cap space. I can show you what I mean. So money-wise, here we go. So this would be the Oilers for next year, right? As of right now, projected. I don't think Hudson makes this lineup. I don't think Jones makes this lineup. And I think Phillip moves to the fourth line center. Janmark moves to the wing. And that's your thing. So you got to replace I think Savoie here maybe goes third line, maybe gets sent down again. I don't really know. I'm not really sold on it. And I think Pods could play fourth line. So you could possibly get a top six winger to play on the left side or right side with Draisaitl, depending on how you look at it. Hyman is also going to come back. So remember that Hyman being back, and they barely have cap space for that, right? They have 5 million, and it's barely. Hyman's 5 million is not accounted for on the cap here. They also have Hamlin up here with cap for some reason, so I don't understand that. You know what? Here, let's do a quick puck GM. Just create a team for a second. I don't know. Let's just go Oilers. Not a robot. Cool. There we go. So cap wise, this is also up to date with what they have now, right? This is also very up to date. So currently they have 4.5 million. My opinion. Okay. So if we have Max Jones sent down, right? And we have no, this all makes sense. Hyman's on the IR, right? So he's got to be activated with $5 million left. So the moment Hyman's activated, this roster is fucked, right? So let's say Hyman's activated. Put him on fourth line for the moment. Okay. We have $5 million to get a fourth line left winger and some depth and maybe a goalie. I don't think Kapanen is going to be here, right? So let's put Kapanen third line, or let's go like this for the moment, right? Let's say that this is the lineup. You need to put Janmark there, and then we'll have, where is he? Noah Phillip call up. Oh, did I just miss something? I might have missed something. Hold on, chat. Oh, no, it was the Ryan Lindgren trade, or signing, excuse me. But this is where I think the lineup is as of now. Or you can, you can't even see what I'm doing. Or you can swap Savoie and here. And right now you have 4.75 million. That's not enough to get Leon support, right? Like, it's especially with the rising cap. So maybe Emberson goes if he's a scratch, or Kulak, or something like that. Just, there's got to be like money in, money out. Maybe even Janmark goes for like 1.4. Something's got to give to get that top six support, because you're not getting Leon the support he needs with 4.7. So, and that's with Jones being sent down. So I think with Jones being sent down, Phillip coming up, it gives him a little more flexibility. They also do have Josh Szymanski. So we'll see. I'm not holding my breath that it's going to be solved today. Not going to be solved today, in my opinion. Okay, let's see. Another new update. Ethan Bear is signing with the Islanders on a 2-way contract. Interesting. So another defenseman for the Islanders. Damn. Notifications. What do we got? Ooh, Darren Dreger's reporting that an offer sheet is being contemplated for Bo Byram, but they just said they were trying to trade him though. So how would that work if they put the offer sheet in and they trade him? Interesting. Oh. Yeah. That Ethan Bear one's very interesting to me, chat, because now the Islanders have like what? 8 defensemen signed. 8 defensemen signed. They got Romanov, Pollock, Pellick, Mayfield, D'Angelo, Bachvist, Bear, George. And that's without Schaefer. Damn. So I guess that just confirms that Schaefer's probably not playing next year, and they're going to give him like a little bit of extra time to get his way up or make his way to the NHL. That's cool. I mean, like, I get it. Yeah, no new updates, chat. No new updates. I do need to get food, though. I haven't eaten yet today. That's not smart by me. So the only teams, chat, that have no cap space left are the Golden Knights, who are $7 million over, but that's without putting Petro on LTIR, which he is going to be on LTIR, and that's 8 million, 8.8 million going on LTIR. And that means they have like about 2 million in cap space. Should have 2 million in cap space. And they have their entire decor signed for the most part. I'm not saying it's perfect, but for the most part. And they have most of their forwards signed. Marner, Eichel, Stone, Hurdle. That team is just fucking disgusting on paper. Jesus Christ. So Vegas is about 6 million over on paper, but are going to have 2 million in cap space with Petro going on LTIR. The Canadians are $3.3 million over in cap space, with Struble as an RFA and Dobish as an RFA. So I'm interested to see what the trade that follows. Okay, here's another update. Anthony Mantha. Sounds like it's going to Pittsburgh. He got injured in his time with Calgary last year. I think that's going to be an interesting ad for Pittsburgh. Probably playing third line there. And then another one, Jordan Harris, who's not qualified by Columbus, is heading to Boston. Sorry, we're jumping back to cap space. But is that with Carey Price on IR? I don't know the way that they have this set up for the Habs, but I believe the Habs are over in cap space by about $3 million. The Panthers are $2 million over, and that is with nobody on IR, so they have to make a trade here, and I think that's going to end up being Evan Rodriguez to give them a little bit of flexibility, especially if they do sign Nico Sturm. They could also probably will have to trade Sam Miskevich. Because they're not going to have the money for him. So the only way that they make that work is if they sign Sam Miskevich to like a league minimum deal and Sturm to a league minimum deal. And even then, I think they're still going to be over. At 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And they do have 6 defensemen signed, but I think they're going to want another one just for depth. So there's a lot to work out from Florida's perspective. They did really well at keeping a lot of their depth guys, but they need a little bit of cap flexibility, at least $3 million. So 6 million total, I guess, or 5 million total, I guess, and that would be the Lundell contract, or it would be the Mikkola contract to go out. But I don't think that they trade Mikkola. And the final one is the Blues. The Blues are a little over in the cap. They have most of their roster signed for next year. There's not much that they're going to do, and that's without Torrey Krug, I believe, on IR, so they have a little bit of cap flexibility. But let's see. We'll see. That's it. I think everybody's got a little bit of wiggle room right now. So much going on, chat. Okay. Damn. I'm trying to think, chat. Do I need to take something out for dinner? / do I have food now? The ultimate question. What's that? Sammy Blaze. Is that re-signing with the Habs? I think it was. Let's see, another update. Yep, Sammy Blaze signing with signing with Montreal. That's not new. It is not a. I'm struggling, chat. I really am struggling right now to speak. This is fucking horrible. Sammy Blaze newly signed with the Habs. It's a good depth piece for them too. Notifications, another notifications. It's all the Sammy Blaze stuff. That's it. Damn. I can't find any new updates. That sucks. I mean, again, we're going through lulls where it's like everything comes in like packs of like 4 or 5, and then it just dies for like 10 minutes. Moen? What Moen? What Moen? Edmonton. Edmonton is my favorite team. Yeah. So this is an interesting one here, chat, from Chris Johnson. Here we go. It's feeling like a sweet spot that falls just under $7 million for Byram because it's a first and a third, which I think is pretty fair value for Byram based on it. But the issue is if Buffalo matches that, it walks them into UFA next year. So that's interesting. Hence why like the offer sheet play would be a little bit of a hindrance for Buffalo. But I guess we'll see. We'll see what happens in the coming hours. Like it's rumored offer sheet or trade coming soon. Rez on FN. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate you. Thank you so much. Your favorite team's Boston. Ooh. Well, you're having an okay day today. I mean, you're spending. I don't know if it's on like good quality, but you're spending. It's entertaining at least. Oh no. Damn. So here's the big one, chat. That's probably going to pop up on the screen. The what was favored Toronto signing, Brandon Tanev, has not signed in Toronto. He has signed in Utah for 3 years at $2.5 million. Brandon Tanev to Utah for 3 years at $2.5 million. According to Elliot Friedman. Here you go, chat. There you go. Brandon Tanev, 3 years, $2.5 million. Oof. I mean, I guess that makes sense why they got Pizzetta then. Damn. That's a big loss for the Leafs. I thought they'd get Tanev squared, and like that, he would be a great energy guy. That's going to be a great fit for Utah, though. I will say that's for a young core. He can slide into the bottom 6 and actually make an impact right away. Let me show that depth for Utah now. Let me pull that up, chat. There we go. Okay, so Utah's depth. So we have Yamamoto that will not be there. I think Tanev slides in there on that 4th line. O'Brien and Tanev together is fucking terrifying. That is a fucking terrifying 4th line for physicality and speed. It's just like anybody hits anybody. Everybody hits somebody. We're looking, chat. We're looking for new updates. Still a lot of players left, chat. Still a lot of players left. We got tons of time left till hopefully an update comes on another big free agent. Like Ehlers probably isn't signing today. We've said that. Granlund could go today. I'd be interested. Again, I'm interested to see more where like Perbix ends up. Amangiapani. Gonna be interesting. All right, but in that moment, I will be right back. I'm gonna go see if I can get some food, chat. I'm gonna see if I can get some food. All right, chat. Quick little snacky poo acquired, and then I have something else that's gonna go in the oven while we wait. Okay, what do we got? Lane Pedersen going to Philly. Lane Pedersen to Philly. They're just signing all these depth pieces. Not bad, but Ollie Lysell or Lixell? I thought it was Lyselic, but whatever. To Ottawa on a 1-year, fully guaranteed 500, but a 2-way deal. Not a big signing. Ottawa's been pretty quiet, but I don't think they have much money. 7 million. Not 7 million. Excuse me, chat. We're looking. I think Tanev's fit is probably really good on that Utah fourth line. I think I said that. That's going to be a very good fit. I think he's a Western Conference player versus Eastern. But I also don't think Toronto... I don't think Toronto could have afforded that 2.5 on a fourth line. Oh. Dylan Coughlin is going back to Vegas on a 1-year deal at $775,000. So Vegas getting even deeper at a cheap cost. And Coughlin was actually decent for them, right? Cheap, good depth players. That's what Vegas and Florida are known for. Oh. There hasn't been many, like, most of the big guys are gone, but... Yeah, we've been rumoring offer sheets quite a bit here. Did they happen on July 1st last year? The Holloway and Broberg? I forget. Or was it a couple days after? Oh, Travis Yost saying I'd keep an eye on Granlund and Edmonton. Ugh, I don't like that fit. I do not like that fit. I do not like that fit whatsoever. Everybody manifest your Edmonton to Sorokin wishes now. Fucking praying on I'm praying, dude. Okay. What we got? Yeah, there's been nothing, chat. Now we're in a lull period. Sick. All right. Why are we talking about... Why are we talking about the Oilers so much today on this broadcast? So much Oilers talk. A group of housing. Let's see. Ian Mitchell to Detroit. Damn, there is literally nothing going on, chat. Literally nothing. Fuck, we're going through like another... Everybody's on Pontus Holmberg and being like, yo, like, this guy's elite. Oh my god, bro. There's no way that came from YouTube, right? There's no way that was on the YouTube channel, right? That's crazy if that's true. No, it's not even on the YouTube. Wow, where did you comment this? Damn, bro. How do I just like get rid of that? That's crazy. That's actually crazy. That's just not okay. That's not okay. Yeah, I don't get this Pontus Homburg love, man. I really don't get it. Natty Nye's on the broadcast. Oh, Panovich. Scott Panovich to Utah. And Owen Sillinger? Is that Cole Sillinger's brother? Damn. Just a lot of little small guys signing now. Nothing major. I think we're going to hit a lull for at least a couple hours. The big contracts still got to be negotiated. What's that? Damn. Mason Gerstein to Buffalo on a 2-year deal. 775 or 425 in the A. Nothing, again, chat, there's nothing major. Like, I'm sitting here in silence, like, just fucking grinding away, trying to figure out any good signings coming. It's just all, you're getting all the same depth pieces that I'm finding. Oilers signed no one? Yeah. I don't think the Oilers are going to be too active today. I think they still got to create a lot of cap space. Unfortunately, I think they got to create more cap space than they have now. Oh, Detroit Red Wings have signed Jacob Bernard Docker. Oh. Am I missing something? Did Buffalo not sign him or qualify him? Why? That's a decent depth piece. I mean, I would have been all over that. That's very interesting. I mean, it's a decent piece too, like decent depth piece. Hmm. I mean, yeah, there's some teams that have been very quiet today. Like Edmonton hasn't done much. Tampa, aside from no, Tampa re-signed Gage Gonzalez. Um, Stars haven't done anything. They just did like one re-signing. I'm just thinking like big teams. Edmonton, so Edmonton, Toronto. Toronto signed Pizzetta, but like that's nothing. Dallas hasn't done much. Florida can't really do much, I would say. Um, Washington hasn't done anything. Um, Carolina's in talks, I think, for Keandre Miller. The last we heard about it about an hour ago. We'll see where that kind of nuts out. Islanders have been semi-active. Um, let's see what else. Who else? Utah's been pretty active. Seattle made a couple signings. Detroit's been scarce until this Bernard Docker signing, and even then, it's not massive. Penguins have done like what Parker Wotherspoon. Um, the Hawks have done nothing. Jackets have done nothing. But again, they re-signed Provorov, so I guess that's big for them. Buffalo's been quiet. I wonder if all these teams are just like waiting for this Ehlers domino, to fall and kind of see where that goes. But trade wise, like the last couple of days, we've had some good trades where it was. First, we'll start with that Hague trade. So it was Hague to Nashville. So it was Hague and a third to Nashville for Lazon and Sissons. Going to Vegas, and Sissons was 50% retained. So Vegas gets some good depth pieces. Lazon, I think, is a solid and underrated defenseman. Next trade was Tarasenko to Minnesota. Detroit is just getting future considerations, getting some cap space back. Minnesota gets a top 6 scoring winger that they think can plug in right away. Following suit, Toronto sends a conditional 3rd-round pick that can become a 2nd-round pick if for Matias Maccelli, and that pick converts to a 2029 second if Maccelli gets over 51 points in the regular season. Followed by Montreal sending Caden Primo to the Carolina Hurricanes for a 7th-round pick. Okay, not terrible. And then the big trade that everybody thought and was anticipating of coming to avoid tampering charges, Marner to Vegas for Nicholas Roy going back to Toronto. So Vegas gets a little bit of cap space, and Marner then goes to Vegas. Then as of this morning, Victor Arvidsson goes to Boston for a 2027 5th-round pick. Edmonton gets more cap space for a player who wasn't really fitting in with the roster, scratched in and out of the playoffs, and they get some asset back. The most recent trades have been Logan Mailloux to St. Louis in exchange for Zach Bolduc. Bolduc fitting into Montreal's bottom 6 is going to be scary to think about, but both young players with promising potential in the future. And then the most recent one was Sam Lafferty getting traded back to Chicago for a 6th-round pick. Lafferty filling a veteran depth role with Chicago. So those are the trades that we've experienced since June 3rd. June 30th? When was that? No, yeah, June 30th. So like the last 24, 48 hours, whatever you want to call that. Let's see. Sean Corrali is going back to Boston on a 2-year, $1.85 million deal. He leaves Columbus and goes back to Boston. Ooh, that's a third line right there of Jeannot, Corrali, Kastelik. Fuck. That is a terrifying third line that I do not want to play against. I do not want to play against that third line. Oh my god. And this is the big one, chat. Nate Schmidt is signing with Utah, as you see on your screen. 3.5 million donaires. 3.5 million donaires. Nate Schmidt for 3 years. There we go. That is crazy. So that's back-to-back years for, was it Utah? No, because it was Seattle last year. Excuse me. I was going to say that they've lost a defenseman and signed with Arizona because I thought Montour went to Arizona for a minute. Very interesting from Utah's perspective that they would go for Nate Schmidt. Like, I get it. I do get it. However, depth-wise, I do not fully understand. I don't think, because Schmidt played on the right side there, right? They already have so much depth on D. So if we look at their roster here, Sergachev, Marino, Cole, Dursey, Mata, Simone, and he'll probably fit in right there with Simone. But then they already have Valimaki, Pernovich, and now does Simone scratch? So they have a lot of defensemen. Does that mean that one becomes expendable? Is Marino hurt that he's not playing for the year? That's a lot of question marks for me. Also, if Schmidt just won the cup and is cashing in, why would you settle to play bottom pairing minutes? Or does he kind of slide in where Cole is and Cole gets pushed down? This is just like everything from like Cole, Mata, to Simone, Valimaki, Pernovich, and Schmidt is just a lot of question marks around it. It's not bad. It's depth. It's good depth. They could trade off some of these guys and retain cap, get some assets, but just a lot of question marks. I mean, Utah is doing a very good job in filling out their depth pieces. I will say with the Tanev signing, they just need to sign McBain. So like, don't spend all your money. Like you have 15 million now, probably minus 3 million, 12 million to sign McBain. I mean, like, they still have money, and I think they could do something more, like do a big trade. Like, they could trade off of a Hayton and something to upgrade, but, I mean, Paterka, they've done really well this offseason. I'm really impressed with what Utah's been doing. James Van Riemsdyk signs a 1 year, $1 million in Detroit. Okay, so Detroit is finally getting active with some minor moves. Bernard Docker followed by James Van Riemsdyk. I don't know where Van Riemsdyk fits in here, but let's check. Because they signed Kane, probably fourth line with Rasmussen, but then they have Rasmussen and Watson. Because Berger and Comfer, Soderblom are third. They just got to make a big splash at this point. Like JVR gets reunited with Justin Hall. That Toronto feeling, and it's $1 million. It's like he can be in and out of the lineup for sure. And they got Gibson. They got a goaltending with Talbot duo, so a little bit of an older goaltending tandem. It's not terrible, chat. It's not terrible. They got a ton of money coming up next year between Sherratt being up, Hall being up, Gustafsson being up. Then look at the extra $1 million from JVR next year. I mean, they just got to spend the money is the issue. They got to find some big free agents. The issue is they did that. They tried to do that with JT Compher. There's no fucking way. Perbix is going to Nashville on a 2-year deal. Perbix is going to Nashville. Are we fucking joking? Bro, Perbix on a 2-year deal to Nashville irritates the fuck out of me. Like, the rich get richer defensively. Like, make that make sense. So now we have Yossi, Shea, Haig, Perbix, Barron. I mean, you know what? Fair, I get it. Osterley, Eklund, Willsbury, Blankenberg, like they're all depth guys. You know what? That's actually not bad. I get it. So they'll probably play, if I had to guess, it would be Haig, Yossi, Shea, Perbix, and then bottom pairing would be Barron. Ooh. Oh no. What's his name? What's the prospect? Molendyke. They'll probably keep Blankenberg as like a 7th or Eklund, or they'll trade off of one of these guys. That's a very good signing though for Nashville. I mean, depending on the cap, if it's anything under $3 million, I think it's a great signing. They have tons of cap space to move with. I think they need to work on their forwards a little more than they do their defense, but that's me. They're still a very young team, Nashville. Florida have signed UFA Jeff Petrie to a league minimum. Wow. I wonder who called that one. I did. So they get their next veteran defenseman, that's trying to rebound on a vetman, Petrie. Fuck, that's actually really good for them. That's really good for them. So now their right side is consistent of Jones, Ekblad, Petrie. Their left side is Mikkola, Forsling, Balcers. Is it Balcers who would be their... Kulikov. That's very frustrating with how good that is. But then that also means that, like, they still need cap space. No fucking chance the Raptors just did that. Sorry, this is a basketball one, chat. That's not for hockey. Perbix, Van Riemsdyk, Petrie, Jesus. Oh, dude, I'm hot spamming this guy. Jesus Christ. Okay, so I mean, there's again, chat. This is what I mean. We're going through fucking phases. Everything happens, and then it's just little windows of pockets of signings. So it's like breaking like 4 or 5, stop. 4 or 5, stop. Fuck, I can't believe the Raptors just did that. Ooh. All right, chat. 2 seconds. 2 seconds. I gotta check on the food. We got some za, chat. We got some za. All right, what did I miss? What did I miss? Cody Ceci to the Kings, 4 years, $4 million. Oh my god! Fucking enjoy. Oh my god! And Dumoulin too. Jesus. Wow, they are really going full Edmonton Oilers. God damn. Esimont signing with the Bruins. That's a great signing for... It is really a great signing for Boston. Fuck. Wow, Los Angeles went full balls to the walls on defense. I mean, Kenny Holland bringing in Cody Ceci twice is crazy. Wow. Yeah, that Perbix deal is incredible. 2.7 million. Wow. It's a great signing. Fuck, man. The rich get richer. That would have been a nice pairing with Wallman. Like a perfect pairing with Wallman. Trade off of Emberson. God damn. Anton Forsberg officially signs back with the Kings. It says officially he will not be back with Ottawa as he signs with the Kings. So the Kings just made 3 massive signings of Forsling on a 2-year deal at 2.25, Dumoulin at $4 million a year for 4 years, and Cody Ceci at 4.5 million for 4 years. Jesus. But I mean, the Gavrikov money essentially just got split into Dumoulin and Ceci. Which on paper isn't terrible for the Kings because they get deeper. And that's a big thing was they traded Spence, they lost Gavrikov, but they brought in Dumoulin and Ceci. I mean, it's a trade-off, right? And they still have $4 million in cap space, apparently, according to this. But is that with these guys on the roster? That's the question. With Cody Ceci and Doom, that is. Wow. I mean, they are a very old defense core, I will say. Like, Doughty, 35, Ceci, 31, Anderson, younger, 26, Dumoulin, 33, Edmondson, 32, Burrows, 29, Clark, 22. But I wonder where that leaves Brant Clark in this. Like, does Brant Clark end up being expendable for trade? That'd be interesting. And Forsberg and Kemper are 35 and 32 respectively. Like, Los Angeles is an old team. They might be in contention for the oldest team in the league now. And they still have to sign LaFerriere with $4 million. So I mean, and they just signed Armia. They signed that. I mean, something's got to give. Like, I think a Trevor Moore might have to give. Like, take this with a grain of salt here, chat. Take this with a grain of salt, right? So their top 6 stays the same, but they still need to sign LaFerriere. Their top 9 stays the same, really. Harry slots in, and then they have Malott, Turcotte, Thomas, Burrows, and then the 2 missing defensemen would be CC and Dumoulin. That is a deep team, chat. That is a very fucking deep team. That is a very, very, very deep team. It's terrifying to think about. Whoa. Jonathan Drouin, a New York Islander? That's crazy. A lefty abs. Wow. That's very interesting by Drouin to leave. 2 years by $4 million a year? Jesus. I mean, like, it's just big money today. $4 million a year for Drouin. Our list is slowly depleting, chat. I think we only have Roslovic, Suter, Orlov, and Granlund and Nealers left on the big board, like from like big names. And let's not even call those big names. We're gonna call it big names. Damn. So the Kings bulked up. Kings are having a good day. I mean, if you can consider that a good day. Studnicka to the Panthers. Oh, that's a good depth signing. Jack Studnicka to the Panthers on a 1-year, 2-way deal. Matai Blumel to Boston. Don't know who that is. I'm going to be so honest with you. Excuse me. I think we're going to go through a lull period here again, guys. I mean, there's just a lot that happened within like the last spur of a couple minutes. Okay, I feel better. I feel better. Jordan Schmaltz, bro. Oh, I missed this one. Dallas is bringing. Oh my God, excuse me. Dallas is bringing back Radek Faksa on a 3-year, $2 million deal. So Dallas shoring up some more depth with that added cap space. But how much cap space do they still have? Not that much. Can't be. Yeah, they're over. Another trade to come then? Robertson? Robertson would make the most sense. Robertson or Dumba, I guess. Yeah, it's gotta be one of Dumba or Lyubushkin. Mm-hmm. Let's see. Let's see. Okay. I mean, like, there have been some, like, interesting signings. I don't know how I feel about Los Angeles' day. I'm going to be so honest. It is crazy to think, though, that Los Angeles lost one guy, maybe two. I don't think they lost two, and then they've added so much compared to last year. And then Edmonton has lost five NHL caliber players and not added a single one. God damn. Toronto's also done nothing. It just seems too quiet, almost, chat. Like, it's been too quiet for a couple of teams. Canucks almost have no cap space left. How? Wow. I mean, it looks like the Canucks are set then. So again, like the most active teams today, the Flyers, I guess now the Kings, the Islanders have been active. The Ducks have been quiet. The Sharks have been quiet. Hurricanes are in talks for, we said, Keandre Miller, but they've been quiet. Sabres haven't done anything. All the teams with like the most cap space have not done a fucking thing. Capitals have been quiet. And it's crazy to think like of this list of 30 players like on this side here, like the fucking terrible at pointing here, the 30 players here, chat. Like most of these guys are going, and these teams with like ridiculous amounts of money where you think they could just throw it and like throw it at these guys randomly just to get them over the hump. Like, no. Like, let's go top to bottom. Ehlers, probably not signing today, they said. Gavrikov to New York, 7x7. Besser staying in Vancouver, 7x7.25. Granlund has not signed yet. Orlov has not signed yet. Drouin to the Islanders was 2 years, $4 million per year. Jake Allen, 6 years to back to Jersey at $1.8 million. Suter has not signed. Roslovic has not signed. Perry signs a 1-year league minimum with up to 3.5 in bonus incentives. Schmidt signs 3 years, 3.5 million in Utah. Tanev, 3 years, 2.5 million in Utah. Perbix, 2 year, was it 2 years for Perbix? 2 years, 2.35, or 2.75, excuse me, for Perbix to Nashville. Beauvillier has not signed. Grizzlick not signed. Pacioretty not signed. Dodonov not signed. Mangiapane not signed. Lyon not signed. Forsberg not signed. Olsen not signed. Armia goes to Los Angeles on a 2-year, $3.5 million deal. Gaudette not signed. Lindgren signed with Seattle, 4 years, 4.75, I think it was. Appleton is not signed. D'Angelo goes back to the Island. There's a 1-year deal, minimal deal. Nyquist has not signed. Burns has not signed. Esimont goes to Boston on a 2-year, $2 million deal. And then Vladar goes to the Flyers on a 2-year, $3.3 million deal. So, like, granted, there are some players left. There's probably guys lower on this list that I haven't scrolled to in a bit. Like, here, we can look at this together, chat. So, like, we'll scroll down a little bit here. We'll go through numbers 30 through, right? It's like CC signs with the Kings on a 4-year, $4.5 million deal. Brown goes to Jersey on a 4-year, $3 million deal, or 4-year, $3 million deal. I'm getting those numbers mixed up. Brazo not signed. Faxa re-signs in Dallas at 3 years, $2 million. JVR goes to Detroit. Skinner not signed. Reimer not signed. Cunnin not signed. Samsonov not signed. Kurashev, surprising to me, Kurashev has not been signed yet. I think Kurashev's a sleeper pick that somebody could pick up on. Dvorak signed a $5 million deal, 5.4 1 year with Philly. Dumoulin, $4 million by 4 to Los Angeles. Corrali, $2 million or $2.3 million by 2 years to Boston. Eller not signed. Rittich goes back to the island, or goes to the island on a short-term deal. Kuznetsov not signed. Carcone not signed. Klingberg not signed. Radish not signed. Also, very surprising, Radish not signed. He played well for Washington last year. I'm surprised they didn't keep him, to be honest with you. Kiravana not signed. Pearson not signed. Glendening, no. Cole Kopke, I think he is also a sleeper pickup for like a depth player. I think Toronto would be like fucking fantastic for Cole. Jeannot signs a whopper of a deal to go to Boston at $3.4 million for 4 years, which I think is a significant overpayment. Sturm not signed yet, but it was progressing to him re-signing with Minnesota. Gorgiev not signed. Danforth not signed. Bukestad joins St. Louis on a 2-year, $1.8 million deal. Craig Smith not signed. Blackwell re-signs with Dallas on a league minimum deal, I believe. Rob Babry not signed. Vanacek not signed. Petrie joins Florida on a league minimum. Costin not signed. Lauco not signed, and Ruda not signed. There's some other guys too. I believe here we'll just go to the bottom here. Nosek rejoins Florida. Holmberg not signed. Tomasino not signed. I'm very surprised Pittsburgh did not keep him as well. Merrill not signed. Bastian not signed. Parker Wotherspoon does join Pittsburgh on a 1-year, $1 million deal. Sheary not signed. Sprong not signed, and Kaliev not signed. So there's some really good youngish players like Tomasino, Kaliev, Lauco. Like they're very question mark. Like they're projects. I'm not saying that they're not, but like there's options. There are options, and most teams are just not throwing money out, right? Like it was so surprising to me that Philly throws 5.4 Dvorak, but they won't do it on like a Tomasino risk. Oh, I mean, I forgot to say Anthony Mantha to the Penguins as well. Yeah, I don't know how much more we're gonna get today, chat. I think it's gonna be a lot of stuff from a couple days from now. Not really today. A lot of shit happened the day before versus now. Like imagine the Marchand Ekblad stuff. The Marchand Ekblad stuff went down today. How much crazier it would be. What's up, Fuzz? What's up, Athena? How you doing? Thank you so much for the follow. Hey, how are you? My headphones aren't working, so I can't hear you. Can reply in chat? I cannot. No. No, I cannot reply in chat. Sorry about that. I have too many tabs open. Cole Kopke to the Jets. Fuck. That's a great signing for the Jets. That's a great depth signing. I love that signing for the Jets. Shit. So what are the Islanders looking like for next year then, right? They had a decent draft. They had a couple big trades. Let's see what they're looking like on the depth chart, chat. Right, so on paper, here we go. So on paper, we got Anders Lee, Bo Horvat, and Matt Barzal. Right, that's the typical big three. Drouin slides in on the second line with Pajot and Palmieri. And then Duclair, Cal Ritchie. They had Cal Ritchie projected in this lineup. Holmstrom, Tipasalov, Cizikas, and Engvall. I mean, fuck. And that bottom six is fucking brutal. I would even say, like, you could question the fit of this second line. I do not know how cohesive that's going to be. I do not know how cohesive that's going to be. That is kind of fucking crazy. Defense-wise, they look really good with depth. Pelech, Pollock, Romanov, D'Angelo, Bachbus, Mayfield. That's without Schaefer. Again, I think Schaefer goes back to the minors with Sorokin, Varlamov, and Bear, McLean, and Heineman. Scratch. If they get Heineman signed, I think Heineman fits into that third line a little bit better than Holmstrom. Holmstrom drops down. They have options, but it's a very big head scratcher on paper. Very big head scratcher on paper. And it's only for $1 million for Cole. Damn, that's a great fucking deal. We didn't want to do that. We didn't want to do that. We didn't want to do that. Damn. That's a great deal. Oh no, my boy Ronnie. My boy Ronnie Atar. Oilers lost Ronnie Atar to Colorado. Ronnie Atar to Colorado. Oh man. Yeah, everybody's getting good depth pieces right now. I do like that Studnicka signing for Florida. That's a solid fourth line player for them. Fourth line player for them is crazy. Tanner Pearson also signs with the Jets, 1 year, $1 million. Good depth for Winnipeg. Shit. There you go, chap. There you go. Just popped up. Both for $1 million. That's crazy good value by the Jets. Crazy good value. Winnipeg. I mean, they still have to sign Velarde, Kupari, Barron, Appleton, Ehlers. They have so much. How much money do they have left? 20. They have so much money, chat. I mean, that's just a solid 2 fourth liners to bring in. Cup and Cole's only 27. You got that fucking veteran presence now with Pearson and Taves coming in. Taves probably sliding into that third line center. Pearson playing on the fourth line. Oh my god, I like what Winnipeg's doing. If they can somehow keep Ehlers and somehow like fill that hole, chat, that would be dangerous. Would be a dangerous looking team. That would be crazy. Damn, chap. Damn. Okay. This is getting to be. We're going on 3 hours here, chat. 3 hours of NHL free agency. It's crazy that they're doing like midday interviews now for like GMs. It used to be end of day, right? It used to be end of day. But yeah, we were talking about Winnipeg, I think, before I left, and like how well Winnipeg's shaping up to be. Like, they have some very good depth pieces. So, like, now first line center, Scheifele, second line, Lowry, third line, Taves, or flip the centers. You still have Kyle Connor signed for a year. Is he going to sign long term is the question. Who knows? Who knows? I mean, he's still young enough, right, chat? I mean, still young enough where, like, and even if he doesn't resign, like, it's your own rental. Winnipeg's not going to be that bad next year. Hmm. Damn. Yeah, they're still. I'm just so surprised with how quiet some teams have been, chat. Some teams have done absolutely nada. Absolutely fucking nada. Uh. Ken Hollenstag. Chat, I don't know what more. I think we'll go till like 4 p.m. here. We'll go another 45 minutes. I don't think there's going to be many other big free agent signings today. I think most of the big list is gone. We'll give it a little bit of time here. But I think that we've hit the point of no return of now it's just going to be trickling in at every like 5-10 minutes, maybe one signing. Damn. Yeah, there's really nothing, dude. I keep refreshing. Oh, no. I keep refreshing every like minute or two now, and it's just nothing. It's just nothing. I think it's more analysis at this point. Like, we're just gonna it's gonna drag it out. Honestly, I kind of respect the fact that, I kind of respect the fact now that the what was I gonna say? Networks, excuse me, the networks have shrunk down their hours. It used to be like 9 a.m. or 10 a.m. till like 5 or 6 p.m. It used to be, and then it was like 5 p.m. over analysis, whatever. Now it's like noon till 5 because it would drag on quite a bit. The signings weren't the same, and yeah. Oh, we got an update. No idea. John Leonard. Okay, no idea. That's not going to help us today. That's not going to help us today. Oh, man. Man, oh, man, oh, man, oh, man. Yeah, chat. I think there's actually no what chat. I honestly don't know how much I got in me. It's just such trickle stuff coming in. Nick Bruce, the former Toronto Maple Leaf. Is that who that was? Is that the former Toronto Maple Leaf getting signed right now? Yeah. Just trickle signings now, chat. Okay, chat. I think we've done our due diligence today at the beginning of this. I don't have much to add to like it's hard for me to build off of stuff and just play like what could be for like the remaining stuff that's to come. That being said, maybe I'm live later doing gaming stuff. I don't know. But I think for free agency stuff, it's been like a lot of me sitting here just kind of watching because there isn't really much to play off of or people to talk off of. I can talk myself for like hours. Like, don't get me wrong, I can. But as I say that, fucking Jonah Gadjevich, run it back. Run it back. Like there's tons of stuff to go over, but I think honestly it might be worth it for me to do like a stream post free agency, like about a week from now, and just kind of like evaluate where the teams are at versus continuing to sit here and stretch it out a little bit more. Not to say that there isn't more stuff to come. Like I just don't think that there's gonna be big stuff for the rest of this afternoon. I could be wrong, but what do I know? I don't have like much to bounce off of right now. It's hard to be like, oh, like this person's gonna go here, blah, blah, blah. Like we can give updates and like everything, but we kind of just kept going through the same list of stuff, and it's hard to be like, oh, like so most of these guys are gone now. That being said, chat, I think that's where I'm gonna call it. I don't think I'm gonna touch 4 hours today. Just a quick little like we did the main bulk of the beginning of free agency. I don't think much more is gonna come in the next 30 to 40 minutes. I could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong. But that being said, I think that's where I'm gonna clock out. So chat, thank you so much for tuning in. Those who did, appreciate y'all, and I will see y'all soon. Bye.